So, today we are going to be learning about half-angle identities for the functions of sine, cosine, and tangent. These are for non-unit circle questions. The formula to solve the sine function is as follows. Sine of x over 2 equals plus or minus the square root of 1 minus cosine x over 2. So, the cosine function is cosine x over 2 equals plus or minus the square root of 1 plus cosine x over 2. The formula for the tangent function is tan of x over 2 equals 1 minus cosine x squared over sine x, or sine x over 1 plus cosine x. Or you could use the third option, 1 minus cosine x over 1 plus cosine x. To get started, we are going to start with some practice problems. The first practice problem we're going to do is going to be using the sine function. Sine of 7 pi over 2. Now I want you to find the exact value. To get started with this, you're going to plug it into the sine function, which is, again, sine of x over 2 plus or minus equals plus or minus the square root of 1 minus cosine x over 2. Now to plug this in, we begin with 7 pi over 6 over 2, which equals the square root of 1 minus cosine of 7 pi over 6 over 2. This then becomes the square root of 1 minus negative root 3 over 2 all over 2. And then when you reduce this fraction, it becomes root 2 plus root 3 all over 2. Cosine of 67.5. Now to solve this, we are going to plug it in to the cosine function, which is cosine of x over 2 equals the square root of 1 plus cosine x over 2. Now we plug in the function, which gives us cosine of 135 over 2, because that is the equivalent of cosine of 67.5. And then you get the square root of 1 minus cosine 135 over 2. Now this, when you look at the unit circle, the cosine at the angle of 135 is root 2 over 2. So this function becomes 1 minus root 2 over 2 all over 2. And then when you reduce that, it becomes root 2 minus root 2 over 2. So I want you to find the exact value of tan 165. Again, if you plug that in to one of the equations, we're going to use the root of 1 minus cosine x over 1 plus cosine x. That becomes tan of x over 2 equals 330 over 2. And then we plug it into the function. 1 minus cosine of 330 over 1 plus cosine of 330. And then when you plug in the unit circle and you find those values, you get 1 minus root 3 over 2 you get 1 minus root 3 over 2 over 1 plus root 3 over 2. So now when we reduce this, you get 2 minus root 3. Sine x over 1 plus cosine x. When we do this, we get 1 minus root 3 over 2 over negative 1/2. Then when this is reduced, you get negative 2 plus root 3. Or in other terms, root 3 minus 2.